Hi everyone, welcome to the second video in this series from Rita Berman's autumn book and her compilation book. Now we started yesterday with this yellow tree and a little bit of the ground. Today we're going to do this one. This one's going to be yellow orange, and Castle Arts Gold is what we are using. Here we go. I'm actually going to start with a yellow. This is the Naples yellow. It's actually very similar to this brilliant yellow, and I'm just going to use it for the trunk of the tree. I'm trying to decide whether to use it for the outside as well. I'm sort of thinking, I'm just going to sharpen it, that because I sort of went light around the outside to dark in the centre of this tree, I'm thinking maybe I need to do the same thing with all of them. I'm not sure whether I should or not really. But I'm going to go around the edge, I think, with this one. I think it just seems to make sense. And as this colour is quite similar to this colour, maybe that works. So I'm going to do each of these little sprinkles, as we talked about yesterday. Hundreds and thousands. We used to put hundreds and thousands on cupcakes. So my mum made cupcakes for birthday parties. She would put a bit of water icing on top and then hundreds and thousands. The problem is if your water icing was slightly too runny, the colouring from the hundreds and thousands, because there were lots of different colours, would run into the icing. So it could sometimes make quite an interesting pattern, but not what she was going for. She didn't used to make, I remember she used to make the most amazing butterfly cakes. Have you had those? So butterfly cake, you get a plain cupcake and then you slice the top off completely. You cut it in half. Then you put some buttercream on the cake. Right, I am back. Yes, it was the chap come to service my house alarm. Now I had completely forgotten that he was coming, because he was supposed to be coming between 9 and 12 this morning. So normally the chap that does it, this was a different chap, just going to sharpen it. Normally the chap that does it arrives at 9, so I thought, oh, that's fine. But you know, by the time this afternoon comes along, I'd completely forgotten about it. And it was quite funny, because as I was going down the stairs to answer the doorbell, I could see the person at the door had a red top on. So I thought it was the postman, even though I wasn't expecting anything at all from the postman. So I opened the door and it was this person, not the postman. Then he went, "I've come to service your alarm." And he went, "I'm sorry I'm late." And I was like, oh. It was a little bit embarrassing, to be honest. But he was very late, as it's now 2:30 and he was supposed to be here by 12, but he said he had a job this morning and it overran or something. I mean, it can't be helped. I wasn't cross. Obviously, I don't get cross. It was just, as I say, a little bit embarrassing. Now we have the marigold colour, which I'm going to use for this whole background area behind the leaves, but I'm going to avoid colouring the leaves if I can. I'm going to have to sharpen that a little bit. I've just been discovering something very exciting about Derwent pencils. I think someone may have already announced it anyway. And I was having a quick look while the chappie was here, because I couldn't obviously come and record this video. So anyway, so that was all good. And I was looking at Derwent, and they have a set of drawing pencils. You may or may not be aware. Now they're quite a thick pencil with a thick lead, and I think they're more meant for sort of background work and things like that. And I actually do find them quite good for backgrounds because they're quite soft. They're almost, they're not smushy like Prismacolors. I would say they would be more soft, like a chalky pastel, you know, soft pastel-y type texture. But I'm not always very good at describing these sorts of things, even though it's my job. Whoops. Anyway, so yes, I was looking because I'd heard a rumour that they were expanding their range of the colours, because they're sort of nature inspired, but you've basically got lots of browny greens and a few sort of earthy reddy browns, and there's some dark browns and things like that as well, but there isn't a huge range of colour. There's one blue or two blues, one pale yellow, I think there's a wheat there, I'm trying to remember, and so there's not masses of colours, and they're very earthy tones, which is great until you want to do something that needs a pink or something, so you can't, but obviously the Chroma Flow can help you out with that. But someone had said they had this announcement that they were adding to the range of drawing pencils, i.e. coming out with more colours, which is quite exciting. So I went onto their website to do my own bit of digging, as you do, and I went to their Derwent drawing pencil page on the website, and it said boldly, available in 72 colours. Now, for any of you who know about Derwent drawing pencils, you will know that the current largest range is 24. So 72 is an absolutely huge increase in colour range. And I had a little look, and it even had little pictures of the little squares of each one, you know, of each colour. And they had sort of pale pinks and things like that. And I was like, ooh, this looks interesting. So that was quite exciting. I'm going to sharpen up and just do another layer because I can see too much paper through for my liking. So that was interesting. So it looks like they're going to, yes, be introducing a 72 pencil range. But what I did was, while I was on their website, is immediately I went on there, it encouraged me to sign up to be a VIP, which just means you get their newsletter. And you can, by the way, be a Rachel Henderson colouring VIP by signing up to my newsletter too. Links in the video description. Anyway, so I signed up to their newsletter, so if I find out anything more, I'll be sure to let you know. But obviously, as I'm recording this video quite a way in advance, it might all be old news by the time you hear it, but maybe not. Sometimes I'm quite surprised how late it is that people hear certain bits of information, you know, compared with me, but I sort of got my ear on the ground all the time. I try to, and also, you know, I'm sort of surrounded in the world of colouring, I suppose, all the time, whereas obviously not everyone is. Now I've done that, this looks a little bit wishy-washy, so I'm going to go back to my Naples yellow and just redo some of those circles just for myself, because I'm not entirely happy with how it's looking. It just looks a little bit too pale. But yes, so there, I thought that was quite exciting. They are nice pencils. They don't break easily because the leads are really thick, but of course they wear down really quickly, and they're very expensive. Derwent always is. Yes, they wear down quite quickly from a sharp point, so you can't keep a sharp point very much. As I say, I think they're sort of designed more to be for sort of backgrounds and sort of sketchy, large sketchy areas, which I have used them for. And although they work well for that, I'd sort of get a little bit disappointed in the fact that the colour range is so small. Although it's nice, it doesn't always lend itself to every situation that I want to be colouring in, if you know what I mean. This is cadmium orange deep. So if I'm, you know, colouring a page with flowers and things, I end up having to use like the sort of earthy reds, browny reds or something like that, which isn't always what I want. So anyway, or a blue. So I'm trying to just fade these towards the tips. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what comes of it. It's always very hard to tell what colours are going to be looking like when just looking like a little tiny square on a computer screen. You know, how realistic is that colour compared to real? I mean, I could look at my swatch of their original set and see. But yeah, I, as I say, I do like them, but I don't use them much. They're in my Derwent case with my other Derwent, with my Lightfast, and some of the colours are the same as the Lightfast in the drawing set. and I often would tend to pick the light fast instead, just because it's a little bit easier to keep a sharp point. Naples yellow. I'm just going to do the tips of these leaves just so I can burnish them without making them really dark. Yeah, so that's my sort of criticism of them. And if the colours aren't uniquely different to, say, Chroma Flow or Light Fast, then I'm not sure whether it's something that I'm going to get or not. Now I'm trying to decide what to do for this bit here. And I've decided that this one's over the top of this one. So I'm thinking, this one's probably over the top of this one. So I'm going to go... This is, sorry, the Naples yellow, which we use around the edge. So I'm sort of thinking this is the edge. And we're going to sort of take this bit as being part of this tree. Okay. Hopefully it will just work out right. I find it a little bit of a tricky page to know quite what to do with. Now, this bit here, I'm going to go over again, like with the cadmium orange deep. No, with the marigold. So quite lightly here. I don't want it as dark as this because I'm going to add another colour. You have to wait and see. You might guess. Who knows? Now we've got this stripe, haven't we? Now you can treat it in any way you like, obviously. But what I'm going to do is get the cadmium orange deep. I'm going to sharpen it. And I'm going to do what I did down here with the Viridian yesterday. You may not remember, you may not have been there. Let's have a look. So where this dark line is here, I'm going to start there with a really dark line and then fade it a little bit towards the edge. That. Just do the same on each one. Quite simple. Just sort of, I think it is interesting to do it this way, and it also sort of shows up the pattern, which, you know, is important. And yeah. So has anyone got Rita Berman's new Seasons book? She's got a new book coming out in October as well. It is October when this video goes out. It's still September, by the way. I'm not sure whether to get it or not. I've got so many books, but it just looks cute. I haven't got her Africa book though either. I just feel like I want to support her, and it looks really cute. It's sort of an adventurer. I can't remember what it's called. The Land of the Adventurer or something like that. I think. Right, we're going to do a little bit of the bottom like we did yesterday. I'm going to do these loopies. That's what they're called, loopies. And I'm going to use the earth green. Now this is a greeny brown, and I think it's quite a good transition from the green to the dirt, which I'm thinking is under here. So earth green, and I'm just going to colour in each of these rounded bits. You can see how it's actually quite brown, so it's a good transitional colour in my opinion, moving down towards brown. I mean, we are going to have brown up here as well, but so if we can sort of separate the darker brown that I'm going to use for the soil from this here that's going to be quite dark brown as well. Oh, excuse me yawning. I did actually have a good sleep last night. I had a really poor sleep the night before. I just couldn't get off to sleep and I kept waking up. It was horrible. But last night I was really tired. I did a few things. I went up to bed a little bit earlier, but not too early. And I did only 10 minutes of meditation in bed, which I hadn't done the night before, which I usually do. And that helped a lot. I just felt like my body was more relaxed, even though that wasn't, I think that was the point of one of the meditations I listened to, but it isn't always, but it just gets me in a relaxed mood, if you know what I mean. And it just helped me to be able to drift off without feeling restless, if you know what I mean. So that was really good. So I feel, but I still had to be up quite early. I did the silly thing of it was 6:15 and I thought, my alarm's not going off till 1:15. I'll just have a few minutes of thought before I put my tablet on. And I got rudely awakened by my alarm at 6:15, and that doesn't usually set me off to a good start. And I had to get straight up rather than just sort of having a few minutes. Don't like doing that. It's very rare. But, you know, I was obviously really tired. So I guess I needed that sleep. Right, here is, oops. Oh, actually, we'll just come in close and show you the orange tree. There we go. I think it looks a bit like an orange ice lolly. I don't know why. But interesting nevertheless. Yeah, it's quite a strange page to colour. I thought you might want some hints and tips, and I hope, oh, excuse me, I hope this is useful for you. And also maybe to give you some ideas for doing autumn trees anyway. But because these don't look like real trees, because they've got so many patterns and things in them, it's not always easy to know how to colour them. So hopefully this is helping. Right, I'm going to finish now for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, and happy colouring.